Secret Wars continues with the heroes facing one of their most desperate moments on Battleworld. Buried beneath impossible weight, the team's survival may depend on Hulk, who is forced to hold back a disaster that should crush them all. The heroes' headquarters is destroyed in a massive surprise attack, turning their only shelter into wreckage. As the villains search through the ruins, they believe the heroes are finally vulnerable. Molecule Man begins using the wreckage around him as a weapon, throwing massive pieces of stone and debris toward the heroes. The fight is no longer just against the villains because now the entire battlefield is collapsing around them. Captain America tries to regroup the surviving heroes, but Spider-Man's danger sense warns him that something worse is coming from above. Hawkeye and Iron Man react quickly, trying to split and blast apart the falling debris, but their attacks only slow the disaster before the real threat arrives. Captain Marvel protects the team from the first wave of destruction, but then the true scale of the attack is revealed. An entire mountain range hangs above the heroes for one terrifying moment, and then it begins to fall. The villains believe the heroes have been buried alive beneath the mountain. Far away, Thor feels the disaster interrupt his moment with Enchantress. Realizing something terrible has happened to his allies, Thor returns to the battlefield in a flash of power, shocking the villains who thought the war was already over. He sees the destruction, finds no sign of his allies, and demands answers. Dr. Doom tells Thor that the heroes are dead, buried beneath the mountain. Thor accepts the challenge, but below the battlefield the real question remains. Are the heroes truly gone, or is someone still holding back the impossible? Thor throws himself into the fight, still believing his allies may be dead beneath the mountain. Crusher Creel and the other villains try to overwhelm him, but Thor refuses to fall back. Thor calls down lightning against the villains, but Doom reveals a hidden weapon built into Ultron's body and fires it directly at him. For a moment, it looks like Thor has been erased completely. Afterward, Doom orders the villains back to Doom Base. Nearby, another problem rises. The X-Men are still alive and moving through Battleworld. The focus shifts to the X-Men, who are still separated from the main heroes and unsure who they can trust. As they search the area, they discover Magneto nearby, and his power may decide whether this becomes another alliance or another fight. Magneto has taken Janet to safety and uses his power to help her recover, but the X-Men arrive with questions. Magneto argues that they should join forces, believing mutants must protect themselves in this war. Janet refuses to trust him, and the tension explodes when she shrinks down and attacks. Janet's attack throws everything into chaos, and the X-Men are forced to act fast. Nightcrawler and the others try to escape with her, while Storm struggles to keep the ship under control as Magneto prepares to strike back. Professor Xavier stops Magneto before the conflict gets worse and admits he tried to control him earlier. That moment of honesty prevents another battle, but far away beneath billions of tons of stone, a small light appears in the darkness. Deep underground, the heroes are still alive, only because Hulk is holding back the mountain above them. Everyone is trapped, the air is running out, and even Hulk admits he can only keep the weight up for a little longer. Desperate escape plan, using everyone's powers together to focus one massive blast. While Hulk keeps the mountain from crushing them, the others fire through the rock, hoping to open a way out before his strength gives out. Thor finally reunites with the heroes after they escape the mountain. While everyone catches their breath, Captain Marvel scouts ahead, but Galactus continues watching something far beyond the battlefield. Following Galactus, the heroes discover a peaceful alien village. Instead of attacking, the frightened villagers welcome them inside and offer help to the exhausted team. The villagers quickly heal the heroes, giving them a chance to recover. But the moment doesn't last long. Ben suddenly transforms back into his human form, and, as Galactus finally begins to move, Reed realizes an even greater threat is about to begin. Secret Wars continues as the X-Men finally enter the battlefield. The heroes are already exhausted. Doom's forces are still moving in the shadows, and now Galactus begins making his biggest move yet. A massive structure rises above Battleworld, and everyone immediately understands this is connected to Galactus. Reed Richards suspects something terrible is coming, while Captain America watches the sky, knowing the war is about to change. Galactus's home reveals itself as something almost impossible in size, larger than anything the heroes expected. Human Torch returns to warn the others, while Reed tries to understand whether this is a weapon, a ship, or something even worse. The healer touches Johnny Storm's mind and suddenly sees everything. She sees the heroes, the villains, Galactus, Doom, and the Beyonder, the cosmic being who created Battleworld and promised to grant any desire. At Magneto's base, Xavier reveals that Galactus is building something on a cosmic scale. Colossus is still distracted by thoughts of Kitty Pryde, but Magneto takes command and pushes the X-Men toward Galactus's next move. The argument explodes when Volcana steps in, and Molecule Man proves again how dangerous he really is. With almost no effort, he bends matter itself, humiliates the other villains, and reminds everyone that Doom's army is powerful but completely unstable. While Molecule Man pulls the villains out of danger, Dr. Doom is already inside Galactus's enormous ship. He realizes this may be the key to winning the war, and begins preparing his own plan before anyone else understands what he is doing. Doom refuses to be distracted, even by the Enchantress, and keeps chasing the power of Galactus. Meanwhile, Magneto and Xavier try to reach Galactus's mind, hoping they can understand him before the heroes are forced into another impossible fight. Xavier's attempt backfires, the mental contact causes a massive psychic shock and Galactus immediately senses them. The heroes realize they may have just made the situation worse, because now Galactus knows exactly where they are. Galactus responds like they are insects beneath him. A giant machine-like construct appears and attacks the heroes, while Galactus continues building something even bigger from his ship above the planet. The heroes fight together and finally damage the construct, with Human Torch helping bring it down. But the victory does not last long, because Doom's forces return almost immediately, attacking the exhausted heroes before they can recover. Just when Doom's side starts gaining the advantage, the X-Men suddenly strike back. Storm leads the attack, Rogue charges in, and the battle explodes again as the war between the heroes and villains becomes even more chaotic. Storm turns the battlefield against Doom's men, striking with wind and lightning while the heroes push back, but Doom ignores the fight below, waiting for the perfect moment to enter Galactus's ship. Colossus loses control and attacks wildly, forcing the X-Men to protect him instead of chasing the villains. With Colossus badly injured, Xavier orders the team to retreat for now. Back at the village, Zeck heals the injured heroes, but the danger is far from over. Reed realizes Galactus is not simply attacking, he is building something that could consume the entire planet. Now the story moves into Secret Wars Issue 6. The villains are still fighting, Galactus is preparing something massive, and Doom is getting closer to a dangerous plan that could change the entire war. The issue begins with Wasp trying to escape in a stolen ship, but things go wrong fast. She crashes on the strange planet, far away from the other heroes and completely alone. Wasp survives the crash and destroys the damaged ship before moving deeper into the wilderness. But without the others, every step becomes more dangerous. Meanwhile, Doom enters Galactus's enormous ship and begins studying technology far beyond anything on Earth. Inside, he finds a way to bring Claw back as a weapon. Doom realizes he cannot stop Galactus by force, so he starts planning from the shadows. He sends Claw toward the villains, hoping to push them into action while Doom stays hidden. Far away, Wasp finds the wounded Lizard and tries to help him, even though he barely understands her. At the same time, tensions rise at Magneto's fortress, and the heroes are splitting into separate problems again. Professor Xavier pushes his mind across the battlefield, trying to read the enemy from far away. He senses the danger around the X-Men, Doom's forces, and the alien village, then sends Rogue and the others to stop the attackers before they reach the hero's position. Back at the village, Colossus is still badly wounded and separated from the X-Men. While the others worry about the war, his mind drifts to Kitty Pryde, but his feelings for Zeck are starting to confuse him even more. Zeck heals Colossus, but the moment becomes painful for him. He knows he loves Kitty, yet he cannot deny what he feels for Zeck. Then, the Human Torch suddenly arrives, pulling her attention away and making Colossus feel even more lost. Nearby, Captain America's team watches Galactus prepare to consume the entire planet. The heroes know they may only have minutes before everything is destroyed, but they are still divided, tired, and unsure whether they should fight, wait, or search for the missing Wasp. Doom's team reaches the crater to stop the X-Men. Rogue, Cyclops, and the rest sense this fight is big. The X-Men attack first. The villains hit back hard. Cyclops blasts. Rogue rushes in. Chaos rises as Galactus prepares above. Cyclops spots the danger too late. The lava field is unstable. One blast starts a chain reaction. Explosions force the X-Men to flee. The villains run with injured Molecule Man. The X-Men see they were guarding him, not winning. Cyclops knows he matters to Doom, but not why here. Meanwhile, Janet Van Dyne, the Wasp, is still trying to help the wounded Lizard, but danger reaches her too, as the wrecking crew arrives with one of Doom's machines. Instead of showing mercy, they attack the Lizard, leaving Wasp caught in the middle. Back near the village, the heroes can only watch as Galactus's massive device moves closer to completion. Reed wants more time to understand it, but Captain America knows they may not get another chance. Galactus is preparing something that could change the entire war, and hidden in the shadows, another dangerous figure is already watching. Issue 6 ends here, but the secret wars are far from over. Issues 7, 8, and 9 are coming next, so like the video and subscribe to FeatToFiction Prime to follow the full story.